What's up, guys?
Yes.
Ed, what's up, bro? Long time no see. I'm waiting, trying to do this live, essentially, with the Mike from Delaware Valley Tackle is going to join us too. It says you could do up to 4 people on this, so I'm going to send him an invite and see if it works.
Hey, can we do it? Hey,
This works. This is
hey,
awesome.
guys.
There, we got it.
Good. Nice to meet you, buddy. Yeah.
Yeah, so let me pay some bills real quick. This episode 2 of Road All American is brought to you by ROKFORM. They make fantastic vehicle mounts that I showed you guys in the post. The twist lock mount is essential on the bass boat. Hold your phone in place. You don't have to worry about it coming off when you're hitting a wave or anything. And the phone case that goes with it is magnetic. So you can use the car mount like what I'm using right now. Goes from the boat to the car seamlessly. Fantastic mounts. Check them out. rockform.com. Use code DMiller25 for 25% off your next order. So guys, let's get into it. Ed, this weekend sucked.
Did we lose him?
Ed, you there? Oh,
The rock form. Yeah, hook me up, buddy.
we lost you for a second.
I need some mounts, man.
Let me kick.
Maybe I scared him. He
See
had
if
a seizure or
we can,
something.
we're having some technical difficulties. I don't know what happened to Ed. Let's try this. I don't know. We'll talk for a minute. See if it. No, hold on. There we go. I don't know.
Try,
It's only a
Tell
couple
me to-
people joined so
tell
far.
me to
Should
log
we
out and go back.
Try to reboot it. No, hold on a second. Let me see if I can send invite.
All right.
Let me
I'm
invite
back.
again.
I don't know what happened.
There you are. I don't know what happened either. So we left off. I was like, so Ed, this weekend
Yeah,
sucked.
it was
Let's
a little
start
rough.
there.
It was a little rougher today. I didn't go today, but a couple friends of mine were out there fishing, and it was real rough again today. So, a couple top-notch fishermen I know should have caught some fish, but I think they only ended up with 2 for today.
Yeah, it was terrible. You want me to tell you what I did and what went wrong and what, or you want to go first?
Well,
How did your
I
day go
started
on
out
Saturday?
good. I pulled up on my spot, and I got 3 nice fish fairly quick. Ended up losing one. I couldn't get turned. Kind of my fault. It was one on one side of the boat, and then, of course, it tries to go underneath the electric motor. And, of course, I picked up, and fish got off. But that's the way it goes. It's fishing, you know. But I ended up coming in with 3 for 10-14. Ended up finishing in 14th place. Won a little bit of money, but got some good points, you know.
10 pounds, 14th place in a BFL is insanity. You need normally what's the cutoff like on an average tournament down there like for top 20? Like
I mean,
17?
usually, you know, with this time of the year, we get 20-pound sacks pretty easy. But what happened, I think that cold front and that snap came in, this weather, high pressure system, and just kind of shut them down. They were trying to move up. Everybody knows.
Yeah. Yeah, so one of my buddies, that fished, he said that both fish he had, tails were bloody. So no, they were spawning. So my day, I tried to stay local in the Northeast. I ran a little pattern I thought was going to work from what the fish we got on Thursday. For you guys at home, Friday there was a gale warning, so I didn't go out on the water to practice. A bunch of guys at the hotel that I was staying at that went out, they were back at the hotel by 8 o'clock. So it was too rough to really go practice, especially where I wanted to practice. So I might have been able to make it there, but I wouldn't have been able to make it back. And day of the tournament, a goose egg. I had one bite the whole day. I was drop shotting, piling. Fish comes up. I set the hook, fight him to the boat, maybe 25 feet. He gets to the boat, jumps, spits the bait. The hook never even came out of the worm. I don't know. No rhyme or reason. Couldn't land that one stupid fish. And that was at like 9 o'clock in the morning. And that was how my day went for the rest of the day. I didn't get nothing. Not a sniff. But it was terrible. That cold front. The water temp, the guys were saying, was at like 71 the week before. And I was getting like 57, 58 on the Lawrence. Where were you? Wherever you were fishing,
Well,
what was the water temp?
Low. I got down to 59, but I seen as high as 61. You know, I concentrate a little bit of my time in the Bohemian and stuff like that, and I just grass beds. A lot of people don't know about. So, you know, I'm fortunate enough I live this way, so it helps me. I didn't get much time.
You broke up for a minute.
Warmer when I practice. I did get one day other than that to practice, and I know where the fish should be, and they should be setting up. You know, they're trying to move into spawn. It's still just a little bit early. Kind of surprised. I mean, hearing that some bloody tails, but maybe out in the deeper water, maybe a few of them are trying to spawn. You know.
Now, earlier I talked to Mike, and he pointed out on Wednesday when we did the first episode, I was saying that guys were telling me, like, hey, you're a smallmouth guy. You're from up north. You should learn the Susquehanna. Come to find out, I don't want to butcher the guy's last name, but the guy who won brought in all smallmouth from the Susquehanna. Like, that's mind-boggling.
Oh, he did win with all smallmouth? 8 pounds?
All smallmouth.
It's a good bag of smallies.
20 pounds of smallies.
Oh, good smallie.
Yeah, for the bay.
Yeah, it's doable because I mean they are spawning now, so it's a good thing. I told you to maybe go up there and try that, but I was in the grass and I put all my marbles on fishing grass, you know.
I banked on hardcover, and there was fish there too. Even the one that jumped off for me, when he jumped off, I immediately pointed the live scope right at him, right where he came from, and there was 5 or 6 arches, like all in a like frenzy, and then they disappeared. And I left that spot eventually, and I went back. They were there. I could not get them to eat. I threw everything I had at them. That tournament sucked. I was looking forward to that tournament for like the past 6 months, because every time I go down there, I usually put something.
Was the winner a local guy or somebody that does your whole tour?
It didn't happen for me.
Yeah, I think he was out of New Jersey. It's his first win. He's out on the BFL, so yeah. Congratulations to him, man. He pulled something none of us other guys could, even locals, because there was some pretty good sticks out there, you know. I mean, Dave Weiler was out there, Danny Rodriguez, and some of the guys I know, and they're all good sticks, man. And they didn't, you know, they caught fish, but they didn't do that well like he did. He hats off to him, man. He pulled off something good.
Yeah, congratulations to you. I don't want to butcher your last name, but definitely shout out. That was a hell of a stellar job. My the buddy I linked with for the BFLs, he was terrible wilder, and he was saying that the spot, one of the spots that he had that he was like really banking on was like overrun by stripers. And that's funny too, because one of the spots I had right outside of Anchor, it wasn't even a spot. One of the community things, you know, the 3 little like canals just south of the ramp, like with the private docks and everything. In there was bunker jumping. I'm like, this is insanity. Like it didn't seem like it wasn't like it was a strong south wind or anything during the storm. So I don't know if the salinity was up high too. That could have been a role in it.
Well, the bunker's being chased up by the stripers. Stripers moving in. When a dogwood tree blooms in the state of Maryland, you can catch stripers. That's when you want to be. They're coming up to spawn. Yeah, they're coming up to get the sea lice off of them. They're coming up there to spawn and do what they got to do. And then usually after that, then the bass usually moves in, spawns right after them. So usually spawn don't happen for the largemouth until probably about it could happen in the first week of May, but usually first week of May or second week of May. They're usually on the beds pretty hot. My experience.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we get them. What next stop we're going to be battling on the on Champlain. The Toyota, I'll be up there in June. Looking forward to that one.
I'm sorry,
the June 24th. But they should be post-spawn and eating pretty good up there.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I just hope they're not on the nest. I don't like pulling all the fish off the nest, But it should be good up there. I can't wait to get up there myself. Kind of had knocked the ice off of this tournament. It's being my first tournament of the year, so I'm ready to go.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, the June they've been on beds in early July up there, but with this more mild winter we had, or lack of winter, I could see them spawning earlier, especially like with the bay, like you were saying, and you know other people in history. Later in May is like a couple weeks into May is when the spawn is really firing up, and I'm telling you too on the bay, I side scanned an area because I was looking for an old piece of wood on Thursday that I fished before. It's not there anymore. I'm telling you, I saw bluegill beds on the side scan, and that doesn't make any sense for this. That's right.
Our weather up here about halfway, probably between.
It's like almost a month early.
Champlain and you guys, so we had such an early spring. Like we're all green already. Like usually we don't get our turkey season opens May 1st, and always used to be opening week. The woods were bare and wide open, like you could see forever before anything bloomed and blossomed out. But we've had green trees. I've mowed my lawn already. It's crazy. We're 2 weeks to a month ahead, weather-wise in that way.
Yeah.
I don't know if that will affect them to a big degree or not, but I know there's moon phases and length of day, a lot of the things that factor into it. But just as far as pure, warmth and weather, we're 2 to 4 weeks ahead of schedule.
Yeah, it might make the spawn come a little earlier. Hopefully, I don't know. I don't know how it's going to go Champlain until I get there. I'm going to go up and do the best I can. I want to try to win that one, just like everybody else is going to try to do. But for the Toyota Series, I'm just hoping to make top 25. To stay up there in the points and see if I can go to the championship out on Table Rock. I've been there once, so I'd like to get a chance to go back. Long drive, but it's good.
When is the Table Rock tournament? When is it?
That'll be the championship for the Toyota Series, and I would have to look it up and tell you exact dates. I want to think it's in October.
My wife and I are going to Branson in September on a trip, so we might charter, a day on the lake or something. But
okay, yeah, we're hoping we make it. Dave and I both hoping we can make it.
Yeah, I'm looking. I just can't wait. And then we're going to be there three tournaments in a row or Champlain.
It's also awesome. For you. It's about a $500 fuel bill for me. A little far. But I'm going to fish, of course, the Toyota Series, and then I'm going to fish the first BFL on Champlain, see how I do, and debate on what I'm going to do from there. haven't signed up for the rest of them, but that's my intent to probably fish them all.
Now I'm signed up for all the BFLs and the Toyota Champlain. I'm going to go one by one for the Toyotas. It's just so if I mess around and like win a Champlain event or something, maybe like or get a good finish. Right now, I'm in desperate need of points from the zero.
Yeah, one helped you a lot, man. One fish, because there was 30 even our tournament. I don't know if you knew that did not check a fish in 30-some people. That's zeroed. So
yeah, like
well,
half the co-anglers
was fishing fairly close to me. He wasn't fishing right next to me. He was in a boat with some other gentlemen. I understand when I seen him, I think he had almost over either 18 or so pounds that the co-angler had. And I don't think the boater did that well, but the co-angler done real well. He was, when I seen him, he had over 18 to 20 pounds he thought he had. So, I mean, they're there, you know. A lot of people, you know, we got to slow down. I couldn't slow down myself, and I probably should have, because that's pretty much, I was watching this co-angler fish, and I mean, the guy in front of the boat was retrieving his lure 4 times to this guy's 1 time. I mean, that's how slow he was fishing, you know, the one guy that I knew had a lot of fish. I think I need to slow down a gear or two myself, and I just couldn't do it because I had 3 nice fish, lost a big one, and it just, I couldn't slow down. I try to find the aggressive fish,
Takes a lot of
fish that want to eat.
To slow down like that. It's really hard.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can't. I'm terrible at slow fishing. I need to be. That's why, like, with me, flipping or cranking, those are my 2 favorite ways of fishing. And like flipping, I could just sit there and for miles of grass, if I had the chance, just like pop it in there. Next one, or like cranking where you're constantly doing something, and I just can't mentally just sit there and drag something. And even like jig fishing, if it's not like a flipping a jig around wood, like where you're making repeated pitches, if it's like you're slow rolling the jig or slow crawling the jig, it's so painful for me. I get anxiety.
See, that's some of my favorite. I like the slow walk a jig. So
yeah, I mean, like dragging a football jig out deep or cross ledges or something is one thing, but to like go real slow, I just can't do it. Even like here locally, like Candlewood and whatnot, the staple is like this time of year is a hair jig. You gotta bring like 50 hair jigs with you because you're gonna break most of them off, get hung up, and you're trying to drag it real slow on the bottom. It's so painful. But yeah, so I don't know. I guess that's enough. Champlain, Chesapeake Bay's in the books. Champlain's next. Toyota Series. Me and Ed over here are gonna battle it out, and then we got me and Mike. Because last year we fished the Cashin Open. If for some reason I don't make it to day 3, and JJ lets us pay at the ramp, we're gonna hop into the Cashin on Oneida on that Saturday.
What's that? After the Champlain?
Yeah, well, it's a Saturday of day 3 for the Toyota. But if I don't qualify for Saturday, which I hope I do, and I hope I don't. Basically, I hope I don't fish the Cashin. But if I do, we're gonna hop into that last minute. If all the stars align for us, so I'll be back to back Champlain straight to Oneida. No sleep.
Yeah,
you're young.
You're dead, right?
You can handle it. That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's fishing. I got lithiums now, so I don't even have to stop the charge.
Hey, you better be running lithiums today.
Yeah, I gotta say, I was impressed. Like all the running I did yesterday. At the end of the day, my battery was at 96%. My cranking battery. I'm running the Onyx, and they have the app where you can like check the status. My trolling motor batteries never got below 87%. It's
Yeah,
game
it's nice
changer.
when you don't have to charge for a day or so if you don't really want to,
Yeah.
Yep.
You go sun up to sundown, no problem.
So you're going to jump in the match thing on.
So, Mike,
I didn't realize that was on Saturday on Oneida. I've never done that. What's that, a team tournament? Okay.
yeah, it's like a buddy deal.
Yeah, because Oneida, I like Oneida. Of course, I like Champlain too.
I believe they have a championship. I'm not too familiar with the way the tour works, but I think they have a championship too. Like it's like a legit team trail for points. The other cool thing is they do like the guy who runs it. They do like some like raffles and stuff too. So I won a cool painting one year. Me and my buddy Matt did the Thousand Islands one out of Clayton. I won a painting. It's actually really cool. It's like all different buoys and stuff. But they have like a lot of cool stuff they give away and everything. It's a good event. It's fun. They really put on a good event. And Oneida, of course, is a favorite fishery of mine. So if I can get there, I'll get there.
Yeah, fortunate enough to win one there and make it in the top 10 in the coach series there. So I haven't got my big Costa Series. Now it's Toyota Series, of course. I haven't got a win in that one yet, but I'm still fighting for it. A few more years anyway. I can't give up. I'm not that old yet. Getting there though.
We don't quit playing because we get old. We get old if we quit playing. That's right.
You got that right. That's why I don't want to stop.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like to sneak win another BFL win up on Champlain, but I don't know. It's tough. You get a lot of locals up there really know it, So, but you live pretty close to Dave. It's a few hours from you guys, right?
The bay is actually closer to me
I was
than
thinking
Champlain.
You guys get over there pretty quick.
Well, actually, it's only like an hour drive difference, right? From Thai to Plattsburgh, or like 45 minutes. So, yeah, it's still the bay. I mean, took me like 4 hours to get home, and I had to go a roundabout way to avoid the GW. So it's like 5-6 hours to Champlain for me, from where I live. Anyway.
I mean,
now, where are you at, Mike?
Central New York, almost dead center of the state, about halfway between Albany and Syracuse.
Okay. Well, my daughter lives in Massett in New York.
Right.
And my son lives in Rochester. So yeah, I know exactly where you're at then. I lived up there
2 hours probably from Rochester. Yeah.
Okay.
We got the Mohawk River runs right there. I live Interstate 90, the interstate thruway up here. We got the Mohawk River here, and Oneida. Oneida's an hour and 20 minutes away.
Good. Yeah, you got a good fishery there. You got a lot of good stuff. I fished the Mohawk River a while back. I used to fish for Rochester Bassmasters, and we always held a tournament there. They're good guys, good people, man. Everybody I've met upstate's been great. I just came back home. I got tired of work for the company I was working for.
Yes.
Good.
So, Mike, I just want to kick it to you for a second. The Delaware Valley Tackle, you're a member of Bass Resource, site sponsor for them, for Glenn May and those guys over there.
We
real
do real repairs,
aficionado,
maintenance, upgrades for all the major brands. Unlike some guys, I'll work on some of the store models, like the qualifiers, the BP qualifiers, and those Cabela sells their their Daiwa relabels. I help people out with that stuff. Some people don't like to touch it. They can be a little sketchy getting the exact parts and schematics and stuff for it, but we do that. Repair. We do all kinds of rod repairs, custom rods, and I don't have a lot of retail, but that's something I'm looking into, trying to grow into, hopefully late this year, early next year.
Yeah, guys at home, every time I break a guide or something on a rod, on my way up to Champlain, I usually drop rods off the mic and you get them repaired. It matches them perfect with the thread colors and everything. Does a fantastic job. He does like a lot of reel upgrades too, like pimping out people's reels, like upgrade bearings, drag washers, the whole nine. He's hooked me up. I've been running Carbon Tex drags for the past 6-7 years now on all my reels.
Well,
it really helps out.
The Carbon Tex drags are probably the biggest bang for the buck in a reel upgrade. Depending, a lot of the reels now come with a carbon drag, but any place you can replace it, they all got their different names for the materials they use. But that soft black mushy stuff, I don't know, Shimano called it Dartanium or whatever it is. I don't know, like lambskin. I don't know what it really is, but yeah, it degrades over time, gets squished and mushy, makes a mess. And he said that the carbon drags, I mean, unless you're a saltwater guy doing long runs with, tarpon or sharks or something, a carbon drag will last the life of the reel. And you don't get a ton more power out of them, but they're very consistent and smooth. That's what I like about them. Yeah. Same with the bearing blades. A lot of guys, other shops really push it too hard. You swap out bearings in a reel. I probably cut my own throat here to some level, but I just like to keep it real and treat people the way I like to be treated and just be honest and upfront. And if bearings go bad, you're going to replace them. Why not put something a little better in them? But some of these claims people make, swap out your bearings and cast 30% further. That's not really. I don't feel good about it. It's just not accurate. But yeah, in some cases it can help guys into the BFS bait casting. It's a little different deal. We get lighter spools and ceramic bearings start up fast. They don't need to be oiled. So they let those light baits really get the spool spinning more easily. I like free spool in my reels more for accuracy than increased distance. Like you take a reel out of the box, I can cast it as far away as I want to try to set a hook. So yeah, beyond that, I just like I like a nice, easy starting reel. They're easier to control and they get better accuracy out of them. That's the advantage I see.
Yeah, it's got some of those new zillions with the shout out to Spanky from Tackle Trap. He hooked me up with a couple zillions a couple months ago, and I've been fishing them. But the two I got, he hooked me up with some ZPI bearings. They're like top notch ceramic ones. The reels are like damn near uncontrollable. You get cast far as hell, but like when you're trying to skip or like make precision casts, it's like I like the Daiwa platform because it's kind of like effort. Like you don't have to think about it. You don't have to worry about thumbing the spool. Whereas like the ones with centrifugal brakes, if you don't thumb the spool like perfect, you got a bird's nest. Whereas in a Daiwa, if you make a pitch or something and you're not touching the spool and you hit a piling or you hit a pontoon boat, the reel's not going to blow up on you. But with the ceramics in it, it's like it's cool in some reels. Like if I have a reel that's dedicated to just bomb casting, fantastic. But certain reels that are like more the multi-use Swiss Army knife reels, it's not. I don't think it's too worth it. But some of the stainless bearings, like the Hedgehog ZR bearings or something, I really like using those. They're more like the like
Daiwa's whole braking system. I know it's magnetic based, but when I talk about mag brakes, I'm really referring more to like the Revos and stuff where the magnetic plate just moves in and out away from the spool, whereas the Daiwa's got that inductor system, and the inductor's spring loaded, so there's a centrifugal component to it. It's a really unique system, very user friendly, And there's different. You get the SV and the Mag Force Z. There's all different ones, but some of the guys that are really like Daiwa experts, that really just are really into them, like Spanky, who, by the way, he helped me out too with a gear set for a reel that I really needed to get a guy back on the water. So yeah, props to him too for me. But anyway, yeah, the whole Daiwa setup is pretty cool and unique. And there are different springs in the inductors that you can swap out to kind of fine tune them if you want to free them up or get a little more power out of them. So that's an option. But I just assume there's so many reels and stuff available. I assume buy the reel that does what I want it to do, than try to force feed them. But yeah.
All right.
Ed, what
Running
brand
Abby
reels
Garcia's
you
right
run?
now. Mike mentioned that Revos. I've had it for quite some time. I love the reel. I mean, that's what I've always rode. And it's kind of like old habits. I just keep going back to them. My next question from Mike was, what reel? Because I got to get ready to reload. I got to get a whole bunch of new reels. And what do you recommend?
Yeah, in the big name brands, it's almost hard to go wrong nowadays once you get above the $100, $150 price point. So if you're there's nothing wrong with the Revos if you like them and you're used to them. There's nothing wrong with buying new ones. My favorite probably it's kind of almost a tie between Shimano and Daiwa, just because I see so many. Matter of fact, I got one on my bench right here in front of me. It's a Corrado D, which from late 80s, and this thing's like it's brand new. Just lubing it up, cleaning it out, and they're just tanks. They just go and go and go and go. The Daiwas. When I first really got into them, I liked that they had just a few models, and each one was a step up from the other. They all had the free-floating spool, and and their unique braking system. And then, for whatever reason, they went with like the Lose business model that have like 10 million different iterations of every model. It's mind-blowing. I can begin to keep them all straight. If somebody asked me about a specific Lose model, I would have to look it up. I'll just be honest with you. And then now they got the Tatula come out with the T-Wing, so, something different. And then now it's like 10, 12 different kinds of Tatula. And I just find it a little confusing. They're all good reels. Just I like to keep it simple system, but not the world we really live in. But
yeah, it's funny you say this, because like as a Daiwa fan, more or less, like I have no affiliation with Daiwa. I'm not sponsored by them. No affiliation. Dobbins, I am. Dobbins rods all day. But with Daiwa, like once you become like a fan of the products and you're familiar with them and you're actually using them, you're and every time like a new iteration comes out and you do the research, like everything becomes like second nature almost. Like, okay, I know this reel's for that, this reel's for this.
Yeah,
this
I know
for that. This
you're very. We've
for
talked
this.
about this a lot.
Like,
you're very into
kind of like speak
consistency.
The language.
Like you want to be able to pick up one rod and set it down. It feels just like the other one, and that's really important to you. So I have a eclectic collection of reels that I use on the water. I got all kinds of different stuff. I got some Revos, but some of my favorites are actually not even spooled up yet. They're Shimano Scorpions.
Okay.
Oh, jeez, come on. Ed, I had two of these old Scorpions. They're basically the Japanese version of the Corrado, right? They're JDMs. We got a couple connections over there in Japan. Shout out all the shops in Japan. But the companies don't like this. They don't like, Americans buying Japanese products and Japanese people buying American products. They want to keep the market separate. But certain reels, like the Corrado E, that was like a reel that was like a staple. Everybody owned it, and when they stopped making them, everybody went like hardcore buying Scorpions. I mean, this happened with Corrados previously, before this. But there's two reels. They're the 1000. I use the left-handed, so they're marked instead of 1000, they're 1001s. I had two of them, and I'm like, all right. When I first got into Daiwa, I was like, screw this. I'm done with Shimano. I'm using all Daiwa. I fell in love with the reels first time using them, and I sold Mike the two 1001 XTs I had, which were like not the finesse ones,
the 51E,
like the smaller version.
They're the equivalent of the Corrado 51E
50 size. Yeah, I sold them to him, and I because that was like the best jerkbait and popper reel ever made, in my opinion, to this day, I think. And I'm like, every once in a while, I'll call him like, hey,
I gotta tell you,
reels back
I've been looking forward to this talk for so long because I wanted to drop that bomb on you. Yeah. So back to you're talking about reels. You wanted to replace your Revos. When we mentioned Lew's, they're actually made in the same plant. So they have the same contractor that they use. So if you like Revos, you will also like Lew's reels. So I'm saying if you see a Lew's that has the features and stuff that you like, and you can get it at a better deal than a Revo, feel confident in making that jump.
Great.
And if you're just looking to really try something different, I would probably recommend one of the Daiwas in a similar price range.
Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. No, I appreciate it, your honesty and everything. Yeah, and I started with Lew's / Shimano BB1s. I mean, I thought they were the best thing since canned soda pop. I'll be. Fortunately, they've all fallen apart. I've had a bunch of pieces and parts. That's about all I got left of them.
Being surprised what Mike could do with a beat up reel. Like, you could get the thing turning. I had what the hell was it? I had my buddy send you. I don't know if it was old Daiwa or old Corrado or something. Or one of the old Fuegos or something. You got them all fixed up for him. Yeah. He was like, dude, things like brand new. It's like uncontrollable.
We were talking about putting bearings and stuff in reels. When you take a brand new reel and put a hard season on it, make sure there's no warranty issues or anything. But once you take those stock bearings, especially in a good reel, like the mid upper level Shimanos and Daiwas, you take those stock bearings out and flush them, get all the old oil and grease and any dust, corrosion, whatever's contamination in them. You get those out, get that stuff out of there, and then oil them up with one small drop of a light oil, and man, they'll spin like crazy. You'd be hard pressed to really see the difference, between that and an actual aftermarket bearing. But the trick, especially the Daiwas and Abus, there's a bearing behind the drive pin on the spool shaft, and you got to have a special tool to get those off.
Okay.
You guys try doing with pliers and stuff, and next thing you know, you're buying a $40 spool. It's not set up for us. People really, you can try to, you can clean them out in place, best you can with some sprays and different things. But at least if you really want to pull them off, invest in the tool or send them to somebody.
Well, it sounds like a whole lot of us need to stop by and see you.
I appreciate it. You said the guys at Bass Resource, Glenn has been awesome to me. I've been a sponsor. I started here in 2008. I was already a forum member, and it wasn't long. It was maybe a year or two in. The current sponsor in my line of work dropped his sponsorship, so I slid right in there first thing because I like the community and the way Glenn runs it. And anyway, just, business wise, it's been awesome for me, but just the overall experience too. I just like being there as a, a member and contributor. And I know there's guys there that I know, I can tell from the way they talk that they know what they're talking. They do what I do, but they don't ever give me any guff. You know what I mean? They're just really cool about I'll keep it professional, and yeah, it's a great place. All kinds of information. A huge library of articles on all kinds of bass fishing related topics, and of course there's all kinds of online information and communities out there, but this is the best one that I've found based on any topic. When you talk about electronics or gaming or bass fishing or whatever, this is just a place that people can go to get solid information, make some friends, like David, and
another cool feature with Bass Resource that I really like too is the community with the flea market. There's a online marketplace within Bass Resource that's all fishing, and guys will sell other things. They've let me, my previous boat, when I was selling it, they let me put up an ad. It's awesome. A lot of guys use the BBC boards for that marketplace. They're both good in their own right. I really like how Bass Resource does it too, because you can message one of the moderators after a successful transaction, and then give somebody a thumbs up, hey, I bought something from Ed Casey. The transaction was smooth. There's no hiccups. The guy didn't ship it or whatever. And there's a living document, essentially, list in the website of all the people don't buy from and the good people to buy from. So if you see guys, there's a lot of guys that'll turn over product a lot,
and
crankbaits.
The other thing about along those same lines, the whole forum and whole site is so well run and well moderated that you don't get a lot of people just popping on there and have their first post go into the marketplace. If you create a membership there and the first thing you do, the first post you make is go, hey, my boat's for sale, or my rod and reel's for sale, or my custom jigs are for sale, whatever. They'll put the brakes on it. You'll be getting contacted, I guarantee it. Hey, how about an introduction?
That's cool.
Post a few times, let's get to know you, and then there's no actual rule against it. It's just bad form.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right. I hear you.
Oh no.
Some forums.
But it's not hard. People understand it's hard. Online.
There's some good forums out there too.
It's a lot of work, and a lot of technology, a lot of skill goes into running them well. I mean, you see, no matter how tight a ship somebody tries to run, you see, ridiculous stuff. Porn or spam or all kinds of weird stuff pop up in marketplace sites, Facebook or here, there, anywhere. It's really hard to monitor and stay on top of. And I can't remember that more than a second or two. It's somebody's really on top of it. But
yeah, they do a great job over there. Glenn's created a monster. Seriously, it is really the king of forums. No offense to any of the smaller forums out there.
Talk this way because that's where I spend my sponsorship money or whatever. If I didn't believe it, I would just keep my mouth shut and smile and nod.
Yeah, exactly.
My goals right now.
Mike, you got anything new in the works?
I've got my rod shop. I've been slowly gathering some new power equipment, bandsaw, a new lathe, some stuff. I'm going to step up our custom grip making efforts, EVA, cork, and wood all around, some custom reel seats. So we'll have some more offerings and capabilities on that front. I'm doing more things like this, and thank you. This, kind of give me the little motivation kick in the butt that I need to increase my own, social media and online presence, because, you want to grow a little bit and do better, you got to get in front of people, you know, and it's easy to just get complacent and, you know, do what you're doing and just do the, you know, put the fires out every day, you know, and it can get overwhelming, but yeah, we want to do some more of that and some retail. I talk about retail. I'll go too much in depth until I get all the details, but you know, some specialized tools, some DIY videos. I want to do some more in the DIY department because I spend a lot of time, answer a lot of calls, and I don't I pat myself on the back, but I help a lot of people for free. You know, people call me up all the time. Hey, my reel does this or that, you know, and you know, if I was a car, bring it in, I'll fix it. Pay me, you know.
I've done it.
But yeah, I know what it's like. You know, I want to be just part of the community too and help people make it better. And you know, especially young fellas, you know, kids, guys, whoever, just, you know, starting out trying to, you know, stick with the hobby and make it work while spending a king's ransom or, you know, jeopardizing their mortgage or car payment. So, yeah. Anyway, some DIY stuff coming, both informatively and you know, tools and supplies, and some partnerships. I want to put together some custom tackle to go with custom rods. Not necessarily stuff that I make, because, you know, there's only so much you can do yourself. But there's a lot of custom bait guys. And Ed talked about nobody knew that, you know, painted some awesome crankbaits or whatever it was you mentioned the other night. And yeah, so some hopefully smaller companies, you know, like myself, we can partner up and you know, move product and information, just help back and forth. So
yeah, definitely, man.
Well,
What's
I'm
that?
definitely going to know that, Mike.
Yeah, so
I got to definitely look you up and stop by.
Yeah.
I need to get some rods. I need to
It's
replenish everything.
Delaware Valley Tackle. If you Google it, should pop up. I've had my website for quite a while, so it usually comes up in searches pretty readily. It's M Lawson at Delaware Valley Tackle is the email. I've got Facebook and Instagram. I can get direct messages, PMs on the Bass Resource forums, and my phone 973-459-2835. I'll take a phone call. So yeah.
Okay. All right, I greatly appreciate it for everybody watching too, because not only I need
one of the things I'm trying to do to improve the service here is I'll now take reservations. So let's say, you know, now that the season has kicked up, you know, you got a reel or two you need, you got to have it by a certain date for your tournament. You know, you contact me, let me know what it needs, as long as I have the parts or, you know, materials to do the job. I'll put a date on the calendar. I'll reserve a date for you. You send me 2 or 3 reels, I'll turn them around in 48 hours and get them back.
Okay.
You know,
Excellent.
in the wintertime, like late winter, usually right after, in the fall when people stop fishing, I'll get an influx of work. And then it dies down a little bit. After the holiday, people recoup from that a little bit. I'll get a major influx. And then late February, March is an absolute friggin' zoo here. It's crazy, you know, and I try not to get too far behind, but, you know, I do all the work myself. You know, my wife helps me what she can. You know, she's a nurse, works at the hospital. So, you know, I pretty much do the intake, the repairs, the shipping, the billing. And it can get backed up, you know, so I do the best I can, try to stay in touch with everybody. I don't like, everybody's pretty cool about it usually. But I try to not put myself in a position where I get the phone calls like, hey, how's it going over there? You know, yeah, stuff I haven't heard, you know, how's it going? You know, most everybody's cool. You know, a couple times over the years, I've had guys get a little put out, but you know, you can't be all things to all people, but we certainly try. Yeah, and
right.
I try to be honest. You know, I mean, hey,
You
like,
can't
hey,
please
look,
everybody
man,
sometimes.
I'm swamped here. I'm booked out. You know, 4 or 6 weeks. I'll tell you that, and you know, hopefully, you know, we can still help each other out, and you know, but I understand if you know the timing's not right. You know, maybe next time. You know, but I'd rather say it's going to be
For
2
the guys at
weeks
home,
than to tell you tomorrow 14 times. That's what I would get annoyed.
Yeah.
for the guys at home, the viewers, your reels are like the most important tool that's most often overlooked for dependency. I've had it happen where, you know, a neglected reel is seized up on me mid tournament, and it's like, oh, what do I do? And then I gotta like on the fly switch reels when my line should be in the water, you know, and re-spool something because something went haywire. Like, it's worth, you know, at least if not annually, if you don't fish competitively and you're not on the water as much as me and Ed are, if you're
Yeah.
a leisure fisherman, maybe every 2 years you could get away with it. But if you're a tournament angler, every year those reels got to get broken down, cleaned out, bearings.
That's what I recommend to everybody. As a starting point is annual, and then depending on use, you can adjust for you know. Some guys, you said, they're really you know, they're fishing every single day practically in Florida, and you got all kinds of mud and sand and salt water and stuff in their reel. Maybe they want to do it twice a year. You know, like you said, another guy, you know, he only gets out, you know, 1 weekend a month for 4 months a year, every 2 years. But the other thing I want to add, everybody talks about their bait casters because they're mechanical in casting. You know, like you go throw that bait caster, man, if it's dirty and gumped up, you're getting backlashes and you get no distance, making noise, and it's pretty obvious. But I tell you, a spinning reel needs maintenance too, and people really neglect them and overlook them. So I would just advise against that, because you know, a Stratic fishing reel also, you know, costs $240 thereabouts. You know, and that's an investment, and I can't see, you know, beating the crap out of it for 3 years and then throwing it aside, or wait until it's making such horrible grinding noises that, you know, nothing really left to be done to it. So yeah, stay on top of it, and it's the same price, you know, for basic service for either one. And you know, it might sound like I get right now $26.95 to tear a reel completely to the frame, clean it, inspect every part, lube it, oil it, and reassemble it. And that takes me approximately 90 minutes. I mean, depending on the model, some a little less, some a little more, but that's what I base it on. And these guys that are, you know, offering a, you know, a full clean, deep cleaning, or whatever they call their service, for $15, $16, $18, you do the math. I mean, they're either working for $4 an hour, or they're not doing what they say they're doing. It can't be both ways. You know, like I said, I've been doing this all you know, a long time. I can take a Shimano E, or a, you know, a Gen 1, 2, or 3 Revo. You can send it to me in a bag of pieces, and I can put it together in about 20 minutes. And so yeah, so I just, you know, I just try to be fair, and you know, get a you know, give everybody a good service at a good, fair price. And actually, with, you know, so shipping on top of that. So I will also, now I offer a light duty cleaning. So if the reel, you know, let's just say it's clean enough, but you know, you just want to lube it up, you don't want to take the time to do it yourself, you know, I'll crack them open, grease them up, lube everything, give it a once over, wipe it down for $18. So, you know, there's just try to give some options there. Absolutely.
Mike,
Yep,
you got
Calcutta's a
questions.
workhorse
You worked
reel.
on Calcutta
I
400.
just had a bunch of them.
Nice. Yeah, Bill's Bass. Slide up into Mike's DMs, shoot him a message, exchange information, get your reel over.
Calcutta's
we'll get you taken
the
care of.
round reel. Yep.
Calcutta,
Yep.
Calcutta
Yep.
is the gold one, right?
Yep.
Round, yeah. The one I had was
Ambassador is the
that was I think an apple,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I've got a few of them still out in my box. I use a couple of them. I keep them for pike and carp, or if I ever want to go catfishing, stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I stuck with that was a trial and error thing for
those
saltwater.
Was it old Ambassador reels? When I was doing my club tournaments, I did a charity tournament there on Candlewood. I got paired up with a guy one time. He had a whole deck full of Abu Ambassador C3s, which they're just a little bit smaller, silver round reels, with the synchronized worm gear. And he just casted the heck out of me. He had a deck full of them. He just loved them things. Yeah, they're still out there. They're still perfectly fishable. I get them all the time. I get reels from the 70s and older in here. Clean them out, put them back together, and they're good as new.
Very good.
Nice. Let's wrap it up. I'm
Get home, hug that baby, your wife.
Getting dark out.
Yeah, get back to hockey. Hockey's on. Come on, boss.
Yeah.
Playing tonight.
Yeah.
Florida.
My son-in-law is big into hockey. Yeah, you
Nice.
can't go there quiet when hockey game's on.
Yeah. Hard.
Oh, I want to do a little shout out too. Shout out
Nice.
Paul Mueller. He finished 6th today on Sandy Cooper. He crushed it. He did a good job. Well, Ed, good talking to you.
I just want to always say thanks to my sponsors, Vic Sports Center, of course, Sims Ware, C&W Construction, and RIG, which is Richardson Insurance Company. They're like a broker here for in Maryland area. If you need any insurance or anything, especially for companies, they insure my company, and they're good. They look for the best price for all the contractors or whatever you need insurance for. Even if you need it for your warehouse or whatever, your trucks, they'll help you out. And they've become a sponsor for me this year. It's helped me out a little bit. I'd like to give them a shout. But if you need a Ranger boat, I've been working with Vic's now. I think I bought about 4 boats for him. He treats me well. So he's up in Kent, Ohio, and that's about it, man. Pleasure to meet you, Mike. Dave, thank you for your time.
And, Dave, if you don't mind, just real quick, obviously, thank you, buddy. Thank you for having us. And just a sincere, heartfelt thank you to everybody that has ever trusted a piece of their equipment to me or ordered a custom rod for me. Hopefully met or exceeded their expectations. And if for any reason it didn't, please let me know. I will bend over backwards to make right. And we want everybody to be happy, thrilled with our service and our products. And just thank you to everyone.
Awesome. Yeah, I just want to do a quick shout out too to my buddies at Phoenix. Ran the boat great this past weekend. Merck's been fantastic. Reynolds did a perfect job getting everything aligned for this season. Boats running fantastic. ROKFORM, shout them guys out. They're presenting this video. Without them, this wouldn't be possible. So shout out to ROKFORM and everybody else that's been helping me along the way. Road to All American. This is the end of episode 2.
Thank you guys.
I'll see you guys later, Mike. See ya, Ed.
All right.